Okay, here we go. Here we are in the project, and so I'm going to open it here and go through the processes of um, downloading the start file. And what works best for me is to open it with Excel because then it comes in with my name on it. I'm not sure that yours does or not, but I'll show you what I mean is up here in the title. You can see that it comes in with my name in it. So I need to enable editing. Then I come into File and Save As and make sure that I go to my student folder. And I've already saved this once, but I'm going to save over the original copy because I want to remake this. And so I'm here and oops, wrong class. Here. And then we go into this class, student files, and it would have been this unit 5. And there's the file name I'm going to use and save it. Yes. Now my file's still open, but notice it's no longer enabled for editing and it's no longer frozen or read only. So that's what you want to make sure of, that nothing up here says that it's read only. Okay, so there's my Excel file. Let's go back and download my other file, which happens to be a zipped file. It's downloaded now, and when I open it, it shows that it needs to extract. So I'll come up and extract it again to my student folder, which is, that's where it's going right now. And so I'm going to select that area and extract. And it already had one in, but that's the reason why it came up with that message. Now there's my file that I'm going to use. Now, so there's my Excel file, and I have my text document that I need for my import. And now I want to come and pick up my instructions. So let's open up my instructions and see what's involved. So we're right here, and I've already gone through these first few instructions, and what I'm going to do is just add some check marks and things to this so that I want to make sure that I know that I've done it. Okay, so I have finished this part, and I haven't done this one. So what we need to do is to come up, and it says to go to cell A4 and import this sheet. So I'm going to go to A4. Here I am, and I want to come into. Now, here in the Data tab, I have two choices. I can go from the text CSV file or Get Data option, and that's because this is just giving it to me. So I can come here. So if I go to Get Data, and it says from a text CSV. So I could have used either one of those links, but I'm going to use this one. Go to my, I'm in my unit file, here it is, and this is where it gets a little tricky. I'm importing it, and you need to watch this next screen because it's showing you what's coming in, and it looks good. I mean, these are the titles, and that's what I'm looking for, but I want to make sure I load it to, I don't want it in a new worksheet. I want it in the existing worksheet at A4. And so that's what I want to make sure of that I do. And so now I'm going to click OK. And there goes my data. So I can just save this, and I'm ready for the next step on the instructions. So this one has been finished. Now, format the values in H as currency with 0 decimal places. So I need to make sure that I do that. And so I'm going to come back over to H, grab the whole column, and up, I'm just going to come in here and choose currency and 0 decimal places. And so now it's formatted, and now I go back to the next set of instructions would be here, and go to cell G4. So this one's finished. And now I go to cell G4 and show auto filter arrows. Okay, so where am I? I'm going to come back, and I'm in G4 right here, and here's my auto filter arrows. Okay, and it's just telling me what I'm looking at. So let's come back. Use the auto filter arrow to start by date, and then the earliest date first, and then use the auto filter arrow to sort by product, service name in ascending order. So I can do that through the filter through the arrows, and but I can also do it up here, which would be to sort, and then I have a first and a second option. So if I come here and I do a custom sort, and I say, okay, I want to go by date in, I think it's oldest to newest is what it's supposed to be, and then I'm going to add a level, and this said, let's go back, use it to sort earliest date first. That would be the oldest date, wouldn't it be? And then use the auto filter arrow to sort by product, service in ascending order. So let's come back again. And product, service in ascending would be A to Z. There you go. Okay, now next portion. Filter the date column to show only the contracts for September, using all dates in that period. So I'm only looking for September, and I would come back and I go into September, and when I pull the filters, I just choose September. Okay, so there we go, and I'm coming back again. Select A1 through H2 and press Control-1 to open the Format Cells dialog box on the Alignment tab and center across selection. So I'm doing A1 through H2. So I come over here, A1 through H2, and we're doing the center across selection. So that's here. That's the pulling the dialog box, center across selection, and click OK. Come back to my instruction, and here I am. Change the font size from H2 to 20 point, from A1 to H2, so I'm still in there, and I want it to be 20 points. So let's go in, and I'm just changing this up to 20 points. Okay, let's come back. Copy the contract sheet to the end and name it data. So I'm just copying the sheet. So that means that I'm coming here and I can use the copy command from here, or I can use this copy command, but I always like to use my control key method because it's a little bit more efficient. So I hold my control key down, click on the contracts option, and pull it till I get the plus to the end, and I want to make sure I spell it exactly how it says in the list, and it wants it data with a capital D. So I'm going to come down, click on it, do data, and that's the name of that one. So let's come back. Clear the data filter and hide auto filter arrows. So I'm coming here, coming into my data sheet and clearing all the filters. So I just need to click on the filter in the sheet and go to data, and then I just clear all the filters. Okay, and I don't have the filter showing, so that does that. And I've got that one squared away. Now we're back. Now select A5 on the data worksheet and click the pivot table. So I'm just going to A5 on the data and doing the pivot table. Okay, so let's come back over to A5 and select the pivot table option, which would probably be up in insert pivot table. There it is. So it's showing me what I want. And I believe it goes into a new worksheet. Let's take a look. And in its own sheet named pivot table. So here we go. A new sheet, and that's the range. I just come here. There's my sheet, and I just need to name it. And then I believe I need to move it towards the end. Show the product service. Oh, okay. It does and its own sheet named pivot table, but it doesn't say where it's going to go. Let's see where it's on this. Oh, it's in between right now, so let's keep it there. Okay, so I want to show the product, service, and the contract fields. So I'm back in my pivot table. I'm doing the product, service, and the contract. Okay, now it's asking me to do another instruction, and let's get this one off the list. Drag the contract field from the choose fields and add a report area sum below the sum of contract. Okay, so what we're doing is we're adding another field down here in value in the values down here. So I'm coming in and it says, okay, so I'm grabbing that and bringing it down. So we've got that. Oops, let's come back, and that appears in the bottom of the layout. See, so it's right down here. Okay, now select C4 and click the field setting button, and analyze tab and active fields, and type average contract. So I can do this in a couple places. They say to come up here and do it. But I can do it right down here as well, and it just says call it average contract. Oops, oh, for heaven's sakes. Let me make sure that I've got that the way that they wanted in the instructions. Yeah, it's 2 words, average contract. Okay, and so we've got it. And oh, we need to format it for currency with 0 decimal places. Let's come back, and that would be currency, and let's make sure that we have 0 decimal places. Now I can do it here, decrease the decimal to 0, and that would do the same thing as the going through the dialog box. So let's come back. So I've done this, and we've got the average going. Okay, now in B4, set the custom name to total contracts and the number format to currency 0 decimal places. Okay, so I'm coming back, and I fix here. What was that again? It was sum of contract or total contracts. So and we'll use the other option, is where you come here and you just do the number, currency, 0 decimal places. Okay, let's come back to our instructions and see. I did total contracts and apply brown pivot table style dark 3 or pivot table style dark 3. Okay, let's go look at my item here, and it's supposed to be brown. So let's see what we've got here. Light orange, there's brown. Brown pivot style dark 3. We're good. Okay, now let's see what we've got. Now select the Data Sheet tab and copy cells A1 through A2 and paste them in A1 on the pivot table sheet. What? Okay. Select the Data Sheet tab and copy cells A1 through A2. Oh, okay. I get what we're doing. Okay, so we're going here. We're going to the data sheet, copying these. Copy, bringing it over to the pivot table and paste. Now let's see what it says. Come back, paste them in cell A1 on the pivot table sheet and set a line left for both cells at 16 points. So we're going to come back again and align left 16 points, and we're in better shape now. So now, okay, I think we've got all that. Copy the data sheet to the end and name the copy subtotals. So, so now I'm going to take a copy of this one and copy it with my control key again, or the right click, move copy, but I like my control key. So I'm going to hold that and call this subtotals. I think that's all one word. Subtotals, yes, I did it right. Okay, all right, so select D5 and sort city in A to Z order. So I'm going to come back over and I'm in city and I can sort A to Z. Now I'm back. Use the subtotal command to show a sum for the contract amounts for each city. So we're looking at this one, we did this, and then we're coming here. Let's come back and let's go to the data tab and look at this. My subtotals are not highlighted. So what I have to do is I have to change this from a table to a range. So I need to get here. No, wait. This is not the one I want. I had the right option, but the wrong area. It's in the design on the tables tools and convert to a range. And it will convert the table to normal range, and then I want to click on OK. Now, when I come into data, my subtotal option will work. Okay, so then I want to come back to subtotals, and it's on each city, I believe. Yeah, well, it's each city. Let's come back. Okay, the contract amounts for each city, yes. And click the billable hours sheet. Okay, let's do this first. So it's the contract amounts for each city, and I'm going to sub below the data, and here we go. And we have our result, and we're ready to save on that one. Now, click the billable hours sheet and select A4. So I'm going to come back over here, billable hours, A4. Okay, now what am I doing? Click the Format as Table button. Okay, and then it's going to be orange table style medium 10 or table style medium 10. And remove the data connections. Oh, those would be the data connections on this. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so here I go. I am converting. Okay, so it says it's in the Home tab, Styles group, Format as Table, and I need to do Orange Table Style Medium 10. Orange table, that's medium 3. Oh, that looks like it right there. Boom. And it chooses the range all the way down to the last bit of data and click OK. Yes, that was the remove the external connections. Okay. All right, so now let's come on in and see what our next item is. So we've done this. Type 5% add-on in cell E4 and press enter. So I'm going to come here and put in 5% add on. So now I'm building a formula in cell in cell E4. Okay, and build a formula in E5 to multiply D5 by 105%. There you go. All right, and then select A1 through E2 and send them across the selection. A1 through E2, and then come up here and center across selection. And let's see. Now, where am I? I'm right here. Use the auto filter arrows to sort first by date in oldest and then to newest order, and then by client name in ascending order. So let's come back. And again, I want to do it with a custom sort. I like these better. Okay, so I'm sorting by autofill first by date, so it's date, and in oldest to newest, so that's oldest to newest, and then by client name. So I'm going to add the level and do client name, and that is in ascending, and that's ascending. So there you go. Okay. I was a little concerned about these decimal places, but the example they show you doesn't have that fixed. So these seem to be okay so far. And so I'm going to keep that. And now it just says save and close the workbook and upload it and save your project file. So I'm ready to go. So I close here. And then I come back to SimNet. Where was I? Let's see here. And upload my file. There we go. And yes, I'm ready to submit. And I got a 94. Oh, I did something wrong. D5, sort city in A to Z order. So I missed one sort, it says. In which sheet was that? The subtotals. Okay, I did that. I believe I did that one, but it looks like possibly I didn't, it didn't like the way that I did it. So anyway, so now you've got the idea, and possibly what we would have to do next time is make sure that you do it in the order that they've said in the instructions. So there we go. I think, I think the reason why is because I did a first and second choice. Let me open my Excel file to show you what I mean. this was, which one? This was in feedback. This is in the subtotal sheet. So it was over here. They wanted, well, see, I did that. I think I remember why it came up with that error, is because when I did it with a D5 in the city A to Z order. So it is sorted. I think what the problem was is that I changed the table over after I did the sort. So I needed to change the table over before I did the sort. Okay, so when that was the problem, is when I got to the original state on this one, which I mean, I could remove this, but when I changed the table so that it was no longer in table format, then I needed to do the sort then after that, and then do the subtotals. That's just why I got marked down. But that gives you the answers, and I hope you enjoy it.